Hello, everyone. Welcome to Forward Friday. We're looking forward to being with you today. We're waiting for wonderful Morrison's technology to let her in. We also have Melissa Lavigne today. And how we move forward in life really matters. So we want to move forward fearlessly and we're just so happy you're with us today. I'm actually the speaker today. I'm going to be speaking about the highlights of my program, One and Done Weight Release. So I'm really excited. Usually the first Friday of the month, one of us speaks so you can get to know us and our businesses and how we help people on the planet. So that's what's going to happen today. But I do want to go ahead and start with top of mind. So, Melissa, what is top of mind for you today?
Well, Dani, so top of mind for me in regards to weight loss is like, okay, so we were at an event last night, right? And I'm actually in your program, which I love. So I'm really enjoying it. But I have my things that I'm eating during the week. Get up, have a shake, do this, have a snack, lunch, like you have everything set. But what do you do when you're at an event and they're like, ah,
You eat the cheesecake. That's what you do. You
you
just
eat
go
the,
ahead and have the cheesecake.
oh, thank you. So yeah, that was just like I was really struggling with that last night because I've been
Yeah.
doing so well when I'm at home. But it's like you go to an event or you go to a party or you go out to dinner, and then it's like, oh gosh, now what do I do? So I'm really excited to hear from you today more what you're going to share with us. So what do you have on top of mind this morning, Dani?
Great, great, great. Well, I'm just going to be super personal here. My younger sister passed away from a brain aneurysm last month, and her funeral's tomorrow. She was only 54 years old. And I'm not saying that for, sympathy, but the other thing that's really, really helping me, because both my mom, dad, and stepmom and stepdad, and now my sister have all passed away in the last 10 years or whatever. But I listen to Facebook Live. I listen to Matt Frazier. Have you heard of Matt Frazier on Facebook?
No.
Okay, so so his little reading, his little talk today, which was, what happens when we get to heaven? Who do we meet? And so even though I faced, death in my family, and a lot of us have faced death, listen to Matt Frazier on Facebook. I'm so encouraged because when I was little, I had this little cute black and white puppy, and I loved him so much. And my mama had to give him away because we couldn't afford to keep him. And Matt Frazier just told us that even our pets meet us and they can actually talk to us when we get to heaven. So I can't wait to meet my little Cuddles puppy and my parents and my younger sister. So I am, I have such a strong spiritual sense of the well being of people. Like, I can recognize the divinity of all people. And I just think, I just love everyone, and everyone is so amazing. And then to know that we, have all of those people available to us too when we go to the next realm to heaven or whatever. And so that's top of mind for me is that I'm going to be really, really sad tomorrow at my sister's funeral, but I'm also really happy she's reunited with her parents. And if you just want some idea of what it's like for your loved ones in the next realm, Matt Frazier is a psychic medium, and he's so encouraging. He's really a great guy. And I didn't know I was going to say all that. All right.
Mm.
And it has nothing to do with one and done weight release, but that's top of mind definitely for me. And so wonderful. We're so glad you were able to connect. Go ahead. What's top of mind
Yay.
for you?
Me too. And it's funny, well, not funny, but great you're talking about this because there's been a lot of death in a family this week for me as well. And it's been really like pets, somebody we all call Papa. And it's just been like, a rough week, and so I wrote down Matt Frazier. I'm gonna look him up because top of mind is, I think, always great gratitude. I'm grateful. I'm grateful I have those memories. I'm grateful I can be sad about it, right? Even though sadness is not cool, but you know, I'm grateful. So that is where I'm at the top of mind today.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. So I'm just going to move right into the concepts of one and done weight release. So it is so interesting. When I turned 35, I learned about menopause, and I'm like, oh Lord, that's going to be super tough. So I decided to really, really work on my health when I turned 35. I'm like, I have got to get prepared for this. And so I also went to a counselor at the time, and the counselor said, you need a hobby. You work too much. So isn't that something? Some of these things don't change. And I'm like, well, okay, if I need a hobby, I want it to be something that's really good for me. So my hobby is nutrition and exercise. I love to study about it. I love to do my best every day. And then, I tried to give up sugar, and I failed every day for, a year and a half. I'm like, well, that didn't work. And stuff like that. So I've just been working on this. And so when I became a hypnotherapist in May of 2015, I'll just tell you the story. So I was working at home, and I needed some strategies for during the day, because I used to just bring my healthy food to work and eat my healthy food, and then go in the evening with sugar. And I thought, I need some help here. So I did a $20 coupon for Living Social, went to this 3-hour hypnosis class, and I named graham crackers and Oreo cookies as the two foods I wanted to stay away from. And he did 3 different sessions of hypnotherapy, and he wrote those 2 things on the board, and somehow he wove those all in. And I am hypnotized pretty easily, so I'm just sitting there just listening and whatever. And I have not eaten an Oreo cookie or a graham cracker since May 23rd, 2015, nor could I if you put one in my hand.
What?
Yeah, I know. Isn't that amazing? So I'm like, first of all, when I went to the hypnotherapy class, of course, I called my twin sister, who's going to be a guest on our show next month. And I said, hey, I'm going to go to this hypnosis thing. She goes, aren't you scared? I said, well, God's with me. What's there to be afraid of, right? And then that happened. So then I'm like, okay, God, this has to be a really important tool. And that's literally the reason why I became a hypnotherapist. If a strategy, a mindset strategy, reprogramming your brain can keep me from Oreo cookies and graham crackers, then it can help anyone on the planet. So I knew that I'd be writing a weight release program eventually. So I wrote Soul Power Experience, and now I needed to work on this. So I started writing this in May of this year. It took me about 6 months. So I'm going to tell you the premise of the program itself. And so when I turned 35, I asked God, okay, God, help me figure out what and when to eat for my body. That's it. That's all I want to figure out. And that's all I want my clients to figure out. Because how we each react to nutrition, the food we eat is different. And we know what, eventually when we start paying attention, we know what, makes us feel good, what makes us feel bad. But anyway, so that's the strategy. So I help each client come up with my healthy plan, which is a strategy of what to eat when, every day-ish, food groups. Yes, I want vegetables at 4 p.m. I always have roasted vegetables ready to eat, so I'm not too hungry for dinner. Those type of things, just broad strategies. So what we work on is location zones. Where do you eat? So I know my pantry is danger zone, and I become very aware of that. When you eat and where you eat is really important. Also, we look at every day, every time we meet, and we look at doable things that we can change. Like, you know what, I've been working on this, and I really think I can focus on this week and I really make this change. Or, oh my goodness, I have this challenge that I'm working on, and the challenging changes you've been working on is what we work on in hypnotherapy. And then also, there's some things that we have to work around. There is a particular eating strategy behavior that I have that it's just too ingrained. for my childhood, so I have to work around it. And I do that. I have a plan for that. Then the other thing is delay, don't deny. So Melissa came on and said, hey, we were all at this dinner last night. What do I do about the cheesecake? I'm like, eat the cheesecake. So you delay and you don't deny. You eat the best meal you can with what's there, and you eat the cheesecake. So,
I love that. Delay,
Yeah, exactly.
don't deny. That's so good.
And it's actually a book on Audible, which led me to another book, which I can't get into all those details right now. But, I talked to this guy in an online meeting, and he said that he doesn't eat pizza. And I'm like, not going to happen in my lifetime. I'm going to eat pizza, but I'm going to eat a little bit. There's a strategy for eating even pizza, where you get to eat it. I don't have as much as I used to have. I cut back a little bit because I have my roasted veggies first. And all right. So that's some of the structure around one and done weight release. There's 3 mantras in the program. 1, I am the only one that can make changes. No blame, no excuses. You are the one to make these changes. Everything belongs. Done. I define, dominate this food. I am in charge of myself. D-O, I'm going to observe how I feel. And now is I will never give up on this. As long as we have resolve, we will succeed. E is I enjoy food freedom. So those are the one and done, the stop mantra and the slow mantra. I'll share the slow mantra real quick because it's so easy. So if you are feeling compelled to eat a food, you just stop your body if you can, lower your gaze, observe how you're feeling, and wilt your body. So, when you're going toward a food you want, you feel a little bit of energy charging yourself forward. But if you wilt your body, you're using your body to change your mind. So the slow mantra, I got this from addiction counselor. Slow, stop your body, lower your gaze, observe how you're feeling, and wilt your body. I think the wilting your body is really important because if a food thought comes into mind, we need to use our body to change it. If we have a body craving, we need our mind to stop it. So we have to be using our body and mind. But anyway, other than that, I'll mention that I studied a lot of addiction books. And what happens is when we have a traumatic childhood, we can all raise our hands. Trauma is caused by any time we freeze and we can't do something about what happens to us. If we can fight or flight, we are okay because we've done something. Freeze causes trauma. And that happens to us a lot. So what happens is we have a thought and it locks us into a compulsive action. It's like we have a thought and it's like we have to follow through. We have to do it. And so what we need to do is be able to unlock. We need to have a thought and we unlock that thought and make a choice. And then our action. So if you look up compulsive in the dictionary, because I always like to define what I'm talking about, the definition of compulsive has to do with eating.
Really?
That is like the definition in the dictionary for compulsive eating. That's the example they use. And I'm like, well, welcome to life on this planet, right? Oh my goodness.
Right.
Dictionary. So that's what I help people do is have a strategy for having a thought toward a food or drink and unlocking it with using your body if it's a thought and using your thoughts if it's body related, making a choice and having an action. So my sessions have to do with it, but then that's all the mechanics of one and done weight release. But for 6th session, we work on emotional healing related to food. Because it's actually our emotions that drive us to eat.
Yeah,
so we work on emotions, beliefs, behaviors. I teach you that self-hypnosis strategy that took Oreos out of my life. I can't eat them even if you put one in my hand. I teach you how to do that for yourself regarding particular food. And then we have one session on forgiveness and projection, and there's all journal sheets, so you can use all of these later after you meet with me. And then there's a food list. I've got a lot of food lists where you get to choose things from these food lists that you actually eat. I mean, I bought a Weight Watchers, cookbook one year, And I opened it up. I'm like so encouraged. And I read the recipe. I'm like, I don't even know what that is, that food. I'm like, I don't know what that is. I'm not even going to find out. I shut the book and it's on the shelf. So it has to be food that you normally eat, because we are creatures of habit, and what we just do is improve our habit. And then we come up with your healthy plan. And then I do have a support group. Like, I've lost 14 pounds on this group, and many of us just have that much weight to lose, maybe, like 10 to 20 to 30 pounds or whatever. But when I have help, when I have people that literally have hundreds of pounds to lose, and their issues are, pretty debilitating, I want to create a support group where we can meet once a week, because accountability really matters. And then in the support group, we get to use group hypnosis, some tapping. I have a tapping script, even though I'm not certified to lead it, but we're just all doing it together, and different things to help people. So that's one and done weight release. I hope that just knowing that paying attention to when you eat and where you eat, and just becoming aware, is the first step. So literally, if I have a compulsive food thought, I'll literally go to my pantry and stand there and go, look at all that food that I'm not going to eat. Well, that's amazing. And then
So
that's good.
That's exactly what willpower is, right? Okay.
Right.
So if you don't do so well with the willpower, what else can be more effective? Is there anything else when that doesn't work?
So I listened to the book on willpower 3 times, and I listened to the willpower, all this willpower research, and all these studies and all these cases and stuff. And then they had this final chapter that had all the steps of willpower. I listened to that 3 times. I took notes. Doesn't work. None of it worked. Willpower doesn't work. What works is
interesting.
And what works is knowing how to unlock that thought. Again, if it's basically, and here's another tool about unlocking thoughts. So willpower doesn't work. So if you try to use willpower all these years and you've kind of failed, and you feel really terrible about your eating or drinking habits, it's because willpower doesn't work. What we need just a little bit more in the moment strategy. So like, my husband comes home for lunch now. That's an outside influence. I can hear and I can smell the food he's making. That's an outside influence. So I'm going to have to go inside. I'm going to have to go, this is not my lunchtime. It's my husband's time. But that's an outside influence. So I'm going to solve this inside. That's another part of the stop mantra, but I could tell you what those steps are too, which I probably will if I have time. But yeah, so if it's an outside influence, you go inside to solve it. If it's an inside influence, you're like, oh, I'm really having a thought of eating this right now. Then it's an inside influence, so you use your body to stop it. You use your body. And so the 5-second rule, if you use your body to change a thought, that's kind of how I got that concept. So I will, like, oh, I have a thought that I want to go eat something. So I'm going to instead just walk the stairs in my house. I'm going to use my body to stop that thought. And I'm going to focus on, doing stairs in my house for 5 minutes or 3 minutes. It's 1 minute rotation in my house, 2 sets of stairs. I can go do that. I'll go use my body to stop the thought that's coming from inside of me. So that's better than willpower. It's an outside influence, inside. If it's an inside influence, use your body to stop it. So those are some of the strategies. And I can actually read the stop mantra. I just hadn't pulled that from mine. But anyway, stop is, again, stopping your body. And I'm getting to it. Anyway, do you have it? So willpower. I just wanted to spell willpower. Wonderful. Do you have a question?
I do. So I know the majority of us, including myself, had the isolation period. You know how they say, like, the college 15? Well, we all got the isolation 15. And I was thinking, like, weight loss kind of messes with my head, but I've been hearing weight release, right? Like, is that is that a word trick in my head? Is that like the unlocking thing you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, you know how we don't like to lose our keys. I mean, we don't
Right.
like to lose things.
Yeah.
Our
Lots of, yeah.
subconscious mind wants to solve things. So, you know what, when you can't find your keys and you're just like, oh, I can't find my keys. So your body doesn't want to lose weight. And you know why? It's gained weight for a certain reason. Eating has solved a stress issue.
Oh,
Eating has solved some sort of emotional eating. And because it solves problems for you, so to speak,
right.
your
Right.
body wants to solve the stress you're feeling. And if eating helps you, good, let's do that, right? And so your subconscious mind doesn't want to lose anything.
Got it.
So that's why weight loss, I wanted to change this to weight release, because it's mainly about releasing emotions relating to food. And if we can release emotions in the ways that I know to do, then you're more readily going to release weight. Because
so
weight
good.
is almost secondary to living your life feeling strong and knowing yourself, and, having that food freedom. Yeah. And so I will mention the other book, Delay, Don't Deny, on Audible, is a great overview of the intermittent fasting world. But the other the book that I recommend my clients listen to, and I actually will talk about it in the support group, is Appetite Control. Did you know that there's 5 reasons why we eat, and you can learn how to retrain your body so that you're not as hungry? And I just listened to something. Oh my goodness, we're almost out of time.
Wait, what's it called?
It's called Appetite Control, The Power of Appetite Control. That I don't recommend that to my clients.
I can put it in the
because I
chat.
don't want them to have.
Is it?
Oh yeah, put it in the chat. Because I want people to come up with their own plan, but I do recommend this book toward the end. Did you know that for every calorie we eat, it takes 10 units of energy or calories to create that 1 calorie? So if we can learn appetite control and learn some sort of fasting regimen, we're saving money, we're saving time, and we're saving the planet. Isn't that great? I mean, that's another thing to think about, but that's.
Yeah, that's like a large scale of understanding how our bodies fuel the world. If we are right, we're energy, and then that's what you're saying. And I love the explanation. The reason we gain weight and we don't want to lose it is because it did support us. Like seriously.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah, and we can find other ways to. I had a client who would eat dinner or eat at a table thinking about all the beautiful meals her mom made and how great it was to be a child in that home all those years growing up. And she would eat dinner trying to recreate that feeling. And I'm like, actually, you can create that feeling with the gratitude you have for your life now. You can create that feeling of all the love you have within yourself for your clients and for your family, for your children who are doing so well. You can create that homey feeling within yourself, because our soul is a place to call home, and not related at all to food. Just making those changes. Those are the challenging changes that we address in hypnosis.
Wow.
So the stop mantra is stop my body, talk to myself, observe my feelings, process the inner and outer pain or the emotions. And what's so that's what the stop mantra is. All right, there you go.
Wow. How do we join this? You mentioned support group. Is that?
Yeah, so basically the support group is for people who finish my program.
Oh, got it.
Because you have to have kind of the strategies, work through the strategies, and have a plan you're working on. And then I know for me, when I have another accountability group I'm in, and I'm like, yeah, I got all those ladies I'm reporting back to on Tuesday at 9. I'm going to really work on this today, right? So when you have just a half an hour group chat on Zoom every week, it changes days every month so that you don't get stuck not being able to go. And so I haven't started my support group yet because I'm in a beta testing mode. So if you contact me, I've opened up to 3 more clients at a really reduced rate for one and done weight release. And as soon as I get enough people through the program that need additional support or just love to spend time with me,
Oh,
That's why I do it.
right? Absolutely.
That's what I was thinking. Do a quick little shout out to Karen Ray. I was thinking, okay, I'm going to use my accountability for my weight release, because I just joined the program with Dani, and was thinking that same thing, like use the FAVE Business Society accountability group to keep me on track with my weight release program. Good idea.
Yeah, I love it. Like oh my gosh, that's so smart. You know what? I just want to throw in there. I've been in South Carolina with my grandbabies, and it's everything that you're saying I've lost like 8 pounds since I've been here. And it's because I'm happy. Like I have this, and everything you're saying makes so much sense. Like, know where you're at, know how you're feeling about it, kind of rewrite the story. And I'm feeling like, okay, I don't always have to come here to lose 8 pounds. Like, come on. You know, I love that you're helping us create the home within ourselves.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And the other thing is I decided to go public with all my information. So all my learning videos for One and Done Weight Release are on my YouTube channel. So I'll be sure that that's in the comments. I didn't really think of copying the link right now to put it in this current chat, but as soon as I see this posted, I will put my playlist link. And so you can listen to all the 6 sessions that I've created. Actually, there's 2 more. Anyway, they're all on YouTube. Just listen to them and go, yeah, that makes sense. I can work on that. And then when you need individualized help with your story, that's when you book a call with me. And it's only $50 per session with me rather than $150. So it's a really cheap price. So cheap.
And the thing is, you want to be with someone who really at the core of who she is about love. Right?
Yes.
At the end of the day, your love for you protrudes into the love for me, and then my love becomes somebody else's love. Like, I'm all about spreading love.
Right? That's what Forward Friday is, essentially, right? I've had people ask me, so, what is Forward Friday? And it's like, you know what? We're just coming on here to just share love and be there for if there's someone out there that needs inspiration or something. So please check out our link if you're listening, if you want to come on the show and share your love with us. We'd love to have you as a guest.
And Dani, what's the number you're capping out for this beta test?
Well, I was going to do I was going to do 3 at 50 and then the other 3 at 100, but I'm still staying at that 50 price. So I've still got room for 2 more at that price.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I just am just being super generous. So next week we've got Jackie Gauthier speaking for Forward Friday. So we're super interested in her adventurous life and how she guides clients to living their dream lives. So we're so excited for that coming up.
Yay. I have so many people in my head right now that I love that I'm like, oh, for $50, sister, this is not like the best investment, right? Best investment ever. Like,
yeah. And you get a binder with all the information and then a one-on-one with me, 90-minute hypno session. So
and is your link in the chat? Oh, look at
that.
There
it is. There's the unlock symbol. Yes.
Oh,
love it. I love it.
The link is not currently in the chat. Let's see. I could probably put it there. I think I haven't
afford it to.
Yeah. Well, Melissa put my website in the chat, and if you go to my website and click to the bottom, you'll find a little YouTube link, and that's linked to my playlist. So you can find it there. Yeah.
Perfect.
Love you so much. And one of my clients said, I've never talked about my food habits with anyone before, but I feel so comfortable talking to you. So I'm like, what a compliment. Thank you. Because I'm really real in my videos. I'm like, yeah, I messed up.
But I think again, it's the essence of like, you're not making it about food. You're making it about the whole person.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's where like not to say Jenna Craig isn't great or whatever, right? But I'm just saying that a lot of programs can be intimidating.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
So
Your relationship with yourself is way more important than your relationship with food and your food behaviors. Absolutely.
that's
Like
a
I
great
love myself so much now. Anyway,
Oh,
yeah. Having worked through my own issues. Yeah.
that's it right there, ladies. That's it. Nobody remembers what you said, but everybody remembers how you made them feel. I think Mother Teresa said that. I can't remember, but that's Dani. Although I do remember everything she says.
Well, thanks so much for being with us on Forward Friday today. We are out of time. We look forward to seeing you next week with Jackie Cote. Have a great weekend. We love you, honestly.
Happy Friday.
Okay, bye-bye.